10 guys have at least a 1% chance of winning the Heisman this year, but it really just comes down to 3. Fernando Mendoza, Marcel Reed, and Julian Sayin. I'm mapping out the path for each guy to win the Heisman, but more importantly, the path for each dude to lose the Heisman. This is not a definite list. What are you hoping for? Let me know in the comments. I called Fernando Mendoza's first ever college start. He's undeniably likable. Leading the losingest college football program, and I know it's not a word, but to an undefeated regular season is a story that gets votes. A solid performance and a win against Julian Sayin and Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game would seal the deal. Conference championship games are on December 5th. Heisman votes are due on the 8th. Some voters take pride in not factoring that weekend in, but most will. Mendoza loses the Heisman by dropping one of the 2 regular season games remaining for Indiana versus Purdue and Wisconsin. There'll be 3 touchdown favorites in both. He can also lose it if the Hoosiers suffer a blowout loss in the Big Ten championship and USC takes down Oregon, so that win early on in the year, fair or not, feels less significant for Indiana. Marcel Reed needs Fernando Mendoza to just look average the rest of the year. Then he needs to get A&M their 38th win ever versus the Longhorns, putting up numbers like he did versus Notre Dame. Marcel Reed loses by Fernando Mendoza just finishing strong. Mendoza has the story edge. The more I learn about Marcel Reed, though, the more I like him. I love how he stayed at A&M when he could have left. But Mendoza and Indiana, they're the rebels. Marcel Reed and A&M, they're the evil empire. It's a tough sell. Julian Sayin wins the Heisman through adversity. The point everyone's gonna bring up to counter the Julian Sayin Heisman campaign is the fact that he's got the best player in the sport and another top 10 receiver catching his passes. I don't want Jeremiah Smith or Carnell Tate out, but if they are, and Julian Sayin goes and beats Michigan, throwing for 400 yards and keeps that 80% completion percentage, that's a path. Julian Sayin loses by folks like me bringing up the fact that a Heisman season shouldn't involve easing in. That was the approach for the Buckeyes coaches with Sayin early on in the season. It was the right move for Sayin. It was the right move for team success, but it was not the right move for a Heisman campaign.